Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the FBB Forum YouTube and Instagram pages. I'm very pleased to welcome back two former guests to the podcast, Randi Dean and Rachel Jaffe. These ladies will be collaborating on a new podcast. So we're going to be talking a little bit about this and see what they have planned. And what's kind of neat is they kind of got introduced to each other through my podcast too. So I think that's really awesome. And I think it's also the first time I've had two guests on at the same time too. So I'm kind of excited about that as well. But thank you all so much. And it's great to have you all here. If you all don't mind, maybe just give a quick intro of yourselves. Randi first.
So I'm Randi Dean, and I live in Massachusetts. I live just outside of the Boston area. I am going to be 55 years old. I am an NPC women's physique competitor. I went to nationals 2022, where I placed third and fourth in my class. And then I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and I also had a heart attack a couple of years ago. So I've had some health stuff going on. I had to take a step back. So now we're back on track again. And just did the New England Classic in November, which is Jay Cutler's show. Got my pro qualifier, and so now we're on track again, hopefully for the universe. So super excited. I work as a personal trainer. I have my own online coaching business. So, and I was a nurse for 24 years, retired now.
Very cool. Thank you, Randi. And Rachel?
Hi, I'm Rachel Jaffe. I live in New Orleans, and it's Mardi Gras time down here. We're deep in it. It's super fun. I am an IFBB pro in the women's physique division. I just competed this past November, won a show and came in seventh in the other show. Had a spectacular time. Love supporting bodybuilding and in particular women, and so thrilled to be paired with Randi. I can't even tell you, we're such a good match, and you're gonna see us flow. And this is our first time. This is our first time actually seeing each other and speaking to each other face to face. So this is all going to be very true and organic, and how we relate. And we definitely, I know on my side, feel a kinship towards each other. And definitely thank you for having your podcast and having so many women on and building this platform, because it is desperately needed. So many myths and misconceptions with women in general. And Randi has a great background in so many different areas to help. And I have kind of the comic relief, I think. I'm not
Awesome.
sure. I'll have some things to say, a few things, but here we go. I'm so
All right.
fired up, y'all.
Hold on, everybody, because we just don't know how this is going to work out. So,
which is why I'm so excited.
And I have no filter, so that's my issue sometimes. So I think that's why we, like Rachel said, we have this kind of kinship. We sometimes when you see somebody or you hear somebody's story, you just resonate with that person, and you just feel like, wow, like they're speaking my language. They understand what I'm saying. They're not 20. They're my age. And it's just, when I saw that, I was like, yep. I'm like, and you just, your spirit and your sense of humor, and just you like embracing life.
And you as well. And to be a warrior on stage and off, knows no age limit. So right. We hope to inspire all ages, not just women in their 50s. We're very young at heart. And we're just out there putting ourselves out there, hoping we can help some people out.
Yep.
Thank you all both.
Each other.
Thank you all both. I really appreciate your time and appreciate y'all coming back on and to talk about what you got planned. So I'm just curious, how did y'all meet each other? Was it basically through the podcast or this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was absolutely. So I saw Rachel's interview with you first. And that's when I had reached out to you to see if you would be interested in kind of hearing my story. And I watched it, and I didn't just watch it once, Rachel. I watched it like 4 times. I was kind of like obsessed with her, because I've seen, and I've seen other interviews on your podcast with women who were excellent, but there was just something about Rachel that just was like, she's raw, she's real, she gets it, and it just, that's how, and then this happened, and I reached out to Rachel, and one thing led into
I
another.
couldn't stop watching, and I also watched multiple times and learned so much and saw so much that I wanted to take from her and learn from her and move on, and some things that we were totally the same on. And I think that also comes from being real and not making it all wine and roses or whatever your jam is, that there is, some truths that aren't being said behind
Right.
the scenes kind of part.
Absolutely. And I mean, and the fact that we're both in the same division. We like I said, both roughly around the same age. And then we get, and that, Rachel turned pro. I mean, like she's like my idol here, like Rachel, they're gonna have to give me the friggin' pro card one, because I just keep showing up. I told Steve Weinberger that. I said, I'm gonna keep showing up, so you're gonna have to give it to me one of these days. So but
You're gonna get it, there's no doubt. And showing up is half the battle, and loving it is half the battle, and the joy that you bring to it. And like after a surgery or whatever, I always was so grateful to be able to get any rep in, much less get on stage, So
right.
that fundamental love of lifting is there. So like, of course you're gonna earn that pro card. I have no doubt in my mind, it's there.
It's there.
It's
Never,
there.
never, and that's what I think, that's what kind of our message is with a lot of women is just not believing in yourself and not giving up. When I work and I train clients, I train them as if they are a bodybuilder. Muscle mind connection, feeling it, understanding it, and embracing it. And God damn it, lift weight. We are not gonna do bands today. We are gonna lift those dumbbells. I have 80-year-olds that I can put on a Smith rack. We talk about bone density. We talk about how important it is to be able to be healthy. I mean, if you fall down, do you want to get up?
Hello.
I mean, like I fall on my ass, I got to be able to get up out of it. Like, it's not about this. It's about, just being able to be healthy and not being bedridden or not being in a wheelchair or not having to use a cane.
The outside is the benefit. Like, it's amazing to get the outside, but what the inside does for you is crazy. I was on a flight the other day, heavy bag that I had to lift into the overhead compartment. I didn't need help doing it. Just that simple act of, pressing and pushing things that are functional in your way of life, recovering faster from surgeries, growing confidence, taking a test, like an airflow test I was just doing, and like, knowing your recovery is faster because you've recovered from your cardio, or you've recovered from, a set that was super difficult. Like, there's so many internal benefits that people forget because they just concentrate on the outside and what's on the scale, and the scale is a liar.
Exactly. You don't judge by numbers. It's about how you feel inside. It's funny when it comes to I mean, especially now with like those GLP medications, and everybody's taking shots of Ozempic. And so what they found out actually with some of these medications is that there's a benefit for cardiac patients to help with longevity. We tried to get me Wegovy, but because my BMI right isn't, so I currently weigh 159 pounds. I said, make me 164 and they'll consider me morbidly obese. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So, but you're right. It's not about the numbers. Get beyond the numbers. It's about right here.
For sure.
I actually saw a meme from a female competitor who's almost 50 now, but it said that weight training doesn't make menopause easy, but it makes it easier.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess to each his own. I don't think there's anything easy about menopause at all.
Facts.
Ever.
Ever. And I went through menopause young. Yes. I was in my 30s. So like, menopause is no joke. And there's so many different ways to approach it, and so many women have different views on it. But I think the one common thing is that it's a bitch.
Oh, it's horrible. And I love it when, I get a 20-year-old that tells me, I understand. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, just wait. It's coming. It's coming down the pike. But but going back to what Rachel was saying about, you know, about this right here and the connection with menopause. No, it's not easy when you're going through menopause and having all these symptoms and dealing with this, but it does help with this.
Oh,
Because it's your outlet, right? It's your outlet because it will drive you crazy. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, between the hot flashes and not feeling good and the mood swings and one second you're happy, one second you're crying. You don't even know why you're doing what you're doing. And you're going to the doctors and they're saying, well, we'll put you on an antidepressant. Well, I'm freaking depressed because I don't feel good. You know, make me better, like fix me. And again, finding that right physician and that right approach. And like Rachel said, not everybody's got varying opinions how to manage it. I'm all about hormone therapy.
Me too.
I'm on testosterone, and I gotta tell you, best thing ever.
Estrogen was the one that really helped me.
Yeah.
I know that after like my first 3, I didn't know I was in, I mean, I kind of knew, but it went very quickly towards the end. And I never realized how low in testosterone I was until I started getting all of that blood work back and asking for that. And sometimes I was at 0. So the testosterone definitely helped. But my first dose of estrogen was like waking up from a coma. Like I was like, what's happening here? It was so exciting, but
it's almost like immediate when it happens, because I had the same thing. They you know, did my levels, and the first thing he said is, we're going to put you on the estrogen patch, but we're going to supplement it with some testosterone. And he said to me, your testosterone is almost non-existent. And he was shocked. He said, I don't understand. He said, for somebody who does what you do, it should be up higher. But again, I was almost zero, and my estrogen level was zeroed out. I had a hysterectomy years ago. So
yes, me too.
see, we're like sisters. So it was, you know, it was, I just didn't feel good. And I had to find the right doctor that would work with me. Because most of them that are out there that I've dealt with, they don't want to deal with it. They'll tell you that you're fine. They'll tell you that your levels are fine. They're not fine. So ladies, you got to go and find a physician that will work with you. If it's that important to you, find the right physician that will work with you. Get your blood work done.
And you have to ask for it almost specifically.
Yes. Yes.
Like you can't just say, I need a blood panel. You need to be like, I need a blood panel with hormones to know where my, you know, you need to definitely speak up for yourself with it, because I mean, it caused a lot of tension in my family. I was very snippy and short with, you know, and angered quickly, things like that. So there's so many benefits, but I respect people who want to approach it a different way. For me, I get pellets now inserted. I couldn't do the patch because I was such a sweaty girl. It would always slide off of me somehow. Or, you know, I'd find it someplace crazy or whatever. But it's definitely, you've got to take care of yourself and you know, advocate for yourself is really what
you almost have to you have to demand it. I mean, that's the bottom line, is that you have to demand it. Nobody's going to take care of it for you. Yeah. So, you know, if it's important to you, I mean, just like anything, if you go to the doctors and you're not feeling right, you demand that you get treated or tested. And if that one's not going to do it, then you need to go find a physician that will work with you to do that. I'm very, very lucky with the physician that I have. Very lucky.
We're going to have to talk about this on our podcast, because I have so much. This is going to be like a whole week's work.
Oh, this could be like a month's worth of just nonstop, because it's just so important. And there's women that are out there and they're afraid. They're afraid to ask their doctors this, or they say, well, my doctor won't let me, or my doctor doesn't believe in this. Well, move on. Move on, you know, and find the right physician or provider that will work for you. And, you know, now there's all sorts of like TRT clinics that have popped up. And, you know, I mean, I
sure it's fine, but
yeah, I'm not a big advocate of a lot of them. You just don't know who you're getting, and you don't know what their credentials are. So, you know, but find a provider that works for you.
Just like you should find a coach that works for you, a gym that works for you, a partner that works for you.
100%.
As important as all of the other things in your prep that you take care of, it is absolutely at the top of the list before you even get started.
Right. There's no point if you don't take care of yourself. There's no point in continuing with the sport, trying to prep. You can hire all the coaches in the world. It doesn't make a difference. You have to take care of this. You have to feel good.
Agreed.
Or feel right.
Now with your podcast that you're planning, what other topics do you think you'll cover besides, of course, what we just talked about, but what else would y'all like to cover on there?
I mean, I think that we want to focus, a lot on obviously women's health issues. I think like Rachel said, really delve into the mental issues, that women kind of go through, talk about bodybuilding for women, and bodybuilding for women over 40 or over 50,
And even starting in your 40s or 50s.
Yep, that's when I started.
Wait and start in your 40s and 50s if all of that is correct.
I was 44, I think, when I started, or 43 when I started in bodybuilding. I had no idea of even what this stuff was all about. When I started to get into it, somebody said, you should do it. I said, I'm not getting into that bathing suit. That's not happening. And I had no idea, so, and a lot of women don't know. They see other divisions and they kind of use that, and I'd like to talk about women in our division,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of women have this idea in their head of what a female bodybuilder is, right? So we're either mass monsters, or we're up on stage in a bikini sticking our butt out with heels.
Right, no in between.
And no in between. And we don't have any of this, because we don't need to use this, but I would like to get in, and I'd like to, maybe get some other women on, and really talk about stuff, have a forum for women to just to dish.
That's right. An open, real discussion that if you're feeling it, I guarantee you, or thinking it, someone else will benefit from hearing it because they are as well. And, I've gone through a lot of different body shapes in my life, being heavy to getting on stage in between. So talking about body dysmorphia in our sport, I think is really important at all ages. I think about rebounding, how people are scared afterwards to, reverse diet and gain weight back. Why is that something that people fear? All of the things that lead into body image issues that start so young that are probably, could go away now. People can really let that shit go. But again, that ties into me. The scale is not an indicator of your health or your well-being or anything other than a number on a scale.
Exactly.
And just to people to get into the wellness part of it as well. The women's wellness, mentally, physically, whatever that is for them, we're going to address it, and probably some other stuff along the way too.
100%. 100%, but and especially
life, all of it,
and especially with the presence of social media too, that's another kind of conversation to get into and to have, because that's really changed a lot of stuff, and not necessarily for the best. I think definitely that whole body dysmorphia thing now with the presence of social media, it's there, and it's there every day, and it's, we're in the gym constantly, and it's not just women in their 20s. I'm seeing women in their 40s and 50s, and I'm going, really, really,
yeah.
I don't know what their goal is. I just want to go over to them and go, come here, come to mama. Let me help you.
I don't know what to do in those situations. I usually get nervous and awkward and have to leave.
I'm always being told, look away, look away, look away. Don't pay any attention. And sometimes you just want to sit there and, when you see a 50-something-year-old, that's doing a whole video thing in the gym, and they're trying to look like they're 20, and I don't understand it. Be proud of who you are. I want to shout from the friggin' rooftops, I'm going to be 55. I had a heart attack and cancer. I'm here. And I don't look bad.
You look fucking amazing. When's your birthday?
July
July what?
22nd.
So it's after Universe.
Yes.
Oh, you are so close to the next division.
Well, we're hoping that they'll
Next
let
age ladder, you know.
we're hoping that they'll let me maybe compete in that next age, the 55 plus. But
You
Yeah.
should totally try for that.
who knows, with all the regulations and all the crap that's going on right now in the NPC and the IFBB, who knows what's going on?
Yeah.
It is.
Which is another thing to discuss too at some point, because it's a big issue. They've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of changes, and it's deterring women, I think, from coming into the sport. And especially in our division, I feel like we're getting pushed out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't even get me started on the fit model. To each his own, but we get this much time on stage as women's physique, and women's bodybuilding. This is how much we're getting, especially in an amateur show. Now we're going to have to go through 19 classes of fit model and bikini, and
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I think that I have an idea for that. I wrote that note down for our show. But Dave, that was something you said, how can we make the shows better as well? Maybe do the women's bikini at night, just have them as the night show, and have the women's physique in the morning, just combine all, prejudging into one. And do morning and night show if the bikini people are that much of a draw for,
Right. I mean,
audience.
I feel like women's physique and women's bodybuilding, especially on an amateur level, there's a handful of competitors. You can even put us in with the guys and put us in the beginning, let us do our thing, and then go, right?
Yeah.
I know the last show that I competed at, we did women's physique and women's bodybuilding did go on first, but we had to wait through 20 million classes of men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, there's only like 5 of us. Why can't we just get this done? And it's a lot for people who come to support people to sit through.
Yeah, you're right.
So definitely like Masters National, Gary Udit does an unbelievable job the way that he does the show.
A great show.
I mean, he's got it so down, and it's just like bum, 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 bum. And it's just, that's what you want. That's what you need. And I think you'll get more of a draw in those shows than you would, I don't know. I feel bad when people have to sit there through an entire show and if they're not bodybuilding fans. And even if you are, I mean, even for us, how many times have we been behind stage and like, really seriously, if I have to watch this one more time, I'm like, I just want to get up and do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my freaking burger.
Wait.
I need my M&Ms.
I could tell you that's the same from a fan perspective too, because you don't want to wait, through all those bikini girls and all the men. You just want to see the divisions you want to see, and so yeah, I agree with you. I think having the prejudging and finals for women's bodybuilding, women's physique, and having back to back is kind of ideal,
and there are other federations that do it that way. I know some of the natural federations do it that way. When I competed, I did that I think it was the 2020 Battle Royal in Virginia. We actually went back to back. And it was one of Gary's shows. It was paired with the Weider, what was it? The Weider Classic or whatever the
natural show.
The natural show. Yeah. So the natural show they had before, and then they had the other one after. But literally, because at nighttime they had the military show.
Oh, cool. Yeah, which is cool. Yeah.
And it was perfect. So there you had like 3 different things happening, but they were all spaced out. So
I was curious, when do you guys hope to get your podcast started, or do y'all know yet?
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
We need to get together a little bit, but my thought was soon, not later.
Right.
We're trying not to sit on it, but we definitely want to talk to you and go on with all of your questions and stuff and get it out there, get the word out there.
Exactly. Yeah. And maybe even a thought would be every once in a while, Dave, maybe have us on once a month and do a spotlight or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would like that.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, definitely. Now I know you talked about guests, but do you want to bring guests on the podcast? And are there any ladies in particular?
Absolutely. I think that would be great. And I think that having a mixture of both females and males, like male coaches who deal with female competitors who really understand and understand how the divisions work and have been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, like
Just writing down what you're saying, so we have a little record there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
'cause,
yeah,
Randy,
so
you're
I'm
working with.
coached by Ron Harris. Ron and I have been together for almost 8 years, and
Mhm.
Ron is amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Ron used to be the editor-in-chief of Muscular Development.
Yeah.
And Ron knows everybody, and he's a great guy. What was that?
Oh, I said I have no doubt that he knows everybody.
Oh, he
Yeah.
does. I mean, there's not anybody that he doesn't know. And he doesn't have a lot of clients, but he gets it. And him and I have been together for like 8 years. And for a little while, I had tried a female coach, just because he had gotten tied up with some stuff and just really wasn't going to be able to. And it was okay, but I don't feel like I don't know, like she didn't know me like he did, you know. And we just try different things, and he gets it, you know. And he gets what it's like to like be a good coach, you
Mhm.
know.
I think that'd be good to talk
That
about
good
that.
connection is important.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I always give like him, and I always give a shout out for Jose Raymond. Jose Raymond is amazing. He's amazing. I got the privilege of working with him for a little while, and between him and Ron, they have taught me so much in the sport, you know. And to never give up, and to just believe in and to speak up, you know. But definitely, I'd like to see, you know, maybe a combination of like, you know, some pros and some coaches, and really talking about like, how, you know, what is coaching and how do you choose a coach? What was that?
I definitely want NPC people on as well to talk about their journeys and all of that. But continue on. That's
Yeah,
right.
I know. I couldn't agree more with that, because I feel that a lot of stuff is based around once you get a pro card. And there's a lot of really great inspirational stories that are out there, of other women. I forget, Dave, who it was. You just had a woman that was a wheelchair competitor.
Oh my gosh, I had to stop watching after she talked about the accident. I was so upset I had to go like stand in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I haven't
Yeah.
finished it yet. Seriously, I had to go stand in the corner.
That's
You know,
Charlotte Peterson. Yeah, she was amazing, and great, you know, amazing backstory there, and she just really beautiful too. I mean, she looks great up on stage.
5 kids, yo. What?
Yeah, I know. 5 kids.
Let's not ignore 5 kids. I mean, I would love to talk to her too. Like I was like it hurt me to my core when she was telling that story.
and it's just,
Yeah.
you know, and there's a division right there that there's not enough of that either.
True.
You know, you know, there are women that are out there that may have disabilities, you know, whether the physical or emotional or whatever, and
Right.
and there's not room for them. But God
Yeah.
knows there's 18 million categories of fit model in men's physique.
Totally into looking into the wheelchair division, other athletes being on stage that are also breaking waves, like some men who are in physique who are more feminine than their counterparts that are really super cool and inspirational. I love that. The wheelchair. I know that there are definitely some autistic and on the spectrum people I've talked to who are interested but don't know how. I've talked to a Down syndrome person who's asked me about it. Like there's so many people out there who want to get in, and bodybuilding is super inclusive. And I think people forget about that. Age, race, ability, doesn't matter. You're welcome here.
That's right. That's why when you go to a bodybuilding show, for the most part, you see the competitors. It is a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and for the most part, I feel that some more divisions are tighter than others. But there's no. It's a like a judgment-free zone. You know, you get people that you've never met before, and you feel like after a second that you've known them your whole life, because they're out there and they are cheering for you and rooting for you, and they have given you just that right there. You know. So I definitely would like to see and stories. I mean, I had a story to share, and all I wanted to do was share my story, you know. And that
it's an amazing story.
and that you can do this. You can do this. And that there's people out there that will support you and will understand, and don't give up. and so I'm hoping that we can find some of those people that are out there that really want to share their stuff. But I agree with you, men, women, let's talk about the fact women who have kids, I mean, mine's 29, so I'm at a stage in my life where I don't have to worry about, so I do me now, screw everybody else, my turn.
That's exactly right.
But what about those women that are in their, 40s or even 30s, and that they're deciding to compete, or grandmothers? My daughter's getting married next year. I know that there'll be a baby coming. I'll be a grandma, those grandmothers who are out there competing. We need to talk to them.
One thing I do think that would be interesting for y'all to cover is being in your 40s and 50s, but maybe like a fear of the gym and maybe trying to overcome that.
That is super interesting, because there are people who won't walk in. And I was talking to someone last night at a class I was in, and she said, I signed up for class 5-6 times and got to the parking lot and drove away. And then one day I was like, I'm gonna walk in. And it's like, okay, why that day? Like, I would love to know.
Like, what made you go in that day? What made you
different about that day?
What made you tick? Exactly, because there are people that do that. I know the gym that I work out of, that's most of our population. People who are really terrified to go into the gym. We get them. I have no gym experience. I haven't been to the gym in years. I don't know if I can do this. Sure, you can. I said, because all you have to do is show up. Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Just all you have to do every day. Just show up. That's all. Don't worry about anything else. And once they come, it's a very welcoming environment. The gym that I'm in, it's like a big family. And if you're not there, people will start texting you and going, are you feeling okay? What's going on with you? But you're right. I see a lot of people, and I'm sure that Rachel can relate to this. When you go in and you train yourself, you see these women and men that are in the gym, and they're kind of like off in a corner, and they're afraid. They stick by the machines, or they're in the stretching area, and they don't want to come down to the weight area because people are born like this, apparently, who lift weights, and that's
if only that were true.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I definitely wasn't one of those people, but they come down and they're terrified, and you see that look, and you just want to grab them by the hand and go, come with me. It's okay. It's okay. You sit on that bench. You own that bench. It's okay. Well, I can only do 5-pound dumbbells, and
I mean, and then you go from there. That's the beauty of lifting weights, is that you can actually visually see your progress in what you're lifting. Not necessarily, not talking about body-wise appearance, but that you did 5 curls with 5 pounds, and when you move up to the next, it's concrete evidence. Stuff is working.
I was with a client this morning, for instance, and her and I have been together now for a couple of years. And when I first met her, she would do every machine in the gym because that's what she thought that she had. She didn't know. She would just go do this rep and that rep and the other rep, and she had no order. And she said to me, I need to work with you. And I said, okay. And she showed me her program that another trainer had written. And I will tell you, it was a 3-page program. And I went, oh, okay, we got to figure this stuff out. So first of all, we need to simplify your life.
Oh my gosh, I was just about to use that word, Randi.
Right? I'm like, I don't understand what this is, but we're going to start from scratch again. So fast forward now, she's on the Smith machine today, and she did 20 pounds on each side on an incline chest press. Boom, Kathy. There you go. And she's this woman is, so I want to have her on the podcast.
Let's have her on the podcast.
She is a nurse who became an attorney.
Oh, wow.
And she is a badass. And
we're doing badass women.
Yeah. She gets in there, man, and she's just like, and she gets very she's like, we need to go over my form, and I'm not getting, and she's very rigid sometimes. And I said, you need to be Gumby and just just relax. And when she does something, the look on her face, but the fact that she can do this stuff now and has that confidence and continues on this journey and does not want to lift the same weight all the time and says, we got to go get the Smith machine now because it's free. Let's go. She takes charge. But, women I see it all the time, and I just want to tell them it's okay.
Yeah, I
was
got you.
I'm sliding.
okay, go on. Me?
Now, oh yeah, I could hear you.
Oh, okay. Now I forgot. I was going to wait for you. I was going to say that's also what made the journey of prep so interesting to competing for me. Like I said, I always kind of thought I was going to be a background dancer kind of stuff. So like for me, the journey was so exciting to be like, oh, I lifted more, or the first time I broke the top 5, or the first time, those were just as exciting as other things. And like that, you got to enjoy the process of lifting weights to like want to be a bodybuilder and on stage. Do you know what I mean? Like you gotta
Yeah.
love that process as well. And if we can teach people to love and embrace that process, and that weights won't make you bulky because you don't have enough testosterone or anything else. I'm talking about, you know, women, young women who say that in the gym and stuff like that. Like all of that.
You're not going to be Arnold tomorrow. That's what I always tell people. How many times have people said to you, well, I don't want my arms and my chest to be like that. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Okay, well, what made me think of it is that your shoulders and chest are fucking slamming right now, Randy. Like, I can't take my eyes off of them.
Yeah.
I follow what you were saying, because I was like, look at that cut in her left shoulder. What is up?
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh,
I
she looks
mean,
good.
you had me I'm just saying, I was admiring your physique. I was a little distracted.
No, she looks great.
Thank you very much.
Looks great.
But you know, but I feel, you know, they're afraid. They're afraid to pick up a weight there. So I think too, talking about, you know, a lot of stereotypes, and Dave, I think we've talked about that before. There's so many stereotypes about women and women who bodybuild, and you know, they do. Some of these women come in the gym and they were like, well, I don't want to look like this, or I don't want my chest to be like this. It's okay. It's not going to be like this tomorrow. And I'm like, you want to get up off the floor? What muscles do you think that you use to push yourself up? So,
right. And I want to say, I wish it took one rep like that. I wish I could grow that fast.
Right.
It feels insulting to all of the work that I put in to be like, okay, you're going to rep that out and like change overnight. Like that'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
It took me almost 20 years. Like I'm talking about from when I started lifting, not from when I started competing. I mean, it's a process, a patient process.
Right.
Competing too. When the time is right, it's right. And if you don't ever get your pro card, it doesn't take away your validity in the sport or your work or how great you looked up there. Losing is never about how good or how bad you look. It's like a chessboard to me. It's like it's just what they were looking for in that, and for a physique in that day. It doesn't mean you didn't look fantastic. It's just not what they were looking for that day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, the last time that I competed, I know I wasn't at my best, but I didn't give a shit. I was there.
There are different,
with everything that I went through. I was like, I did it, you know, and I think that that's the whole thing, whether or not you want to pursue bodybuilding or not pursue bodybuilding, it's this. So pick anything and apply the same kind of, you know, to it. But, you know, I feel that women just, they get lost. They just, they get lost.
Well, and a lot of women our age, I would say probably 40 and up, we didn't grow up with people lifting actively. So now the younger generations, they are gaining, you know, powerlifting and, you know, high school, you know, they're giving more weight training programs to younger children, not children, but you know what I'm talking about, high schools and stuff. So they're getting more into the sport and not concentrating on the female athletes, traditional athletes. You know, they're encouraging girls to get into the weight room, and that's fantastic, that shift.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Absolutely.
We're running a little low on time, but I wanted to bring up what Rachel and I talked about, the Swole Housewives idea of it. Like, how do we get that on Netflix?
I know,
I know, we gotta do something. I'm telling you, that would be something awesome.
I'm just putting out some feelers. I haven't heard anything back yet, but that doesn't mean we won't. But yeah, I'm still really, really interested in
just
actively trying to get it done. I think
it'd be awesome.
Yet. So if you have any tips, or if anybody knows anybody,
reach out.
Yeah.
I think even doing like a day in the life of, you know what I mean, and chronicling I know, like, I'll search things on YouTube, because there's absolutely nothing on TV ever. And if I watch YouTube, it's all about my bodybuilding. Like, I'm always watching like something, and I love to watch a documentary about, it can be a man or a woman. It doesn't matter about like what their story.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Randy, I do the same thing. I
Yeah.
look up Road to Prep, contest blogs, but and see how people,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
their journey is going too, because that journey is, look, putting on the suits for competition day is amazing, but when all the dust has settled, that journey of getting there is just so rewarding.
It's
Yeah.
for me, it's all about the training, just being able to go to the gym and challenging myself every day. It's like the day of the show and finally getting to that point, like you said, that's like the icing on the cake, but it's
Yeah.
everything else that's in between. That's what gets me going.
Yeah, I like that day in life idea, and I've seen that before with kind of vlogs where they follow the bodybuilder around, not just for training, but like what happens after the training and like what's your work life like and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that'd be
So recently we hired me a videographer, which I kind of fought this for a while, but figured that this would be a way for me to promote my business and what Rachel and I are doing and trying to get the get the word out.
Yeah.
And I have gotten a lot of hits on my videos. I mean, it's really cool the stuff that they do, but
Nice.
and I'm getting these people who are watching it and resonating with it. So I hope to kind of continue. We have another shoot coming up on Sunday.
The video was great. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
we're doing
awesome.
it with my coach, so he'll be there. So it's going to be kind of cool to do that. So
Why
we
don't you
can
put it out?
we can save all that stuff and kind of
Yeah.
incorporate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of kind of a day in the life of, or
Get it started. Maybe
Yeah.
starting smaller is a better idea. I like that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dave. Thank you, Randy. And we're still working on titles, but it's something with Randy and Ray or Randy and Rachel.
Edition with Randy and Rachel, or
Shooting the
That-
shit with R&R.
I like it. I love it. I love it. That's
I
awesome.
was thinking that the rah-rah ladies or something like
The
that.
rah-rah.
That might work. Yeah.
Rocking with Randy and Rachel.
That might be work. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I didn't hear it.
I said rocking with Randy and Rachel.
Boom.
Yeah.
I like it. That works. Yeah.
The rebellious Rachel and Randy. I could go on and on.
Oh, look, I've been writing us notes. I'm doing it again.
No, thank you.
Well, Dave, I know you have to run. I'm going to have to run too. But Randy, I have your number. I'm going to call you this week.
Cool.
It's a hectic week for me. So
yeah. Whenever you're there, just feel free to reach out. We'll FaceTime and do whatever. And Dave, we'll connect with you again. Maybe we could do this once a month or do something and pick a topic and have a spotlight. And that way, Dave, we could get more people interested in your podcast as well.
That'd be great. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And thank you all.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm glad I could be the catalyst to get you all together too. So that worked out good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for introducing us.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. And please, anybody, reach out to Rachel and I. We're happy to help. That's what we're here for, right?
I'll leave your Instagram pages down below too, so people can send you DM and stuff. So
yes, please follow. Whoops, there
Hey.
There you
Bye, y'all.
Thank y'all, and I'll get this posted soon.
Thank you so much, Randy. We'll talk soon.
Sounds great. Bye, guys.
Bye.